Hi, Emily.
Hello.
So today, we're going to be working on the website called Grammarly.
Oh. Okay.
So,
ignore that.
Do you know what Grammarly is?
No, I don't.
It is a grammar checker. So if you copy or paste or write notes into it, it will check your grammar for you. Spellings, punctuation.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. So first, you are going to need to download Grammarly.
But it's already downloaded on here. So if you wanted to download it, you just go to Google, type in Grammarly, and it pops up. You press download now. You can either get the free version, which generally just checks punctuation, spelling, or you can upgrade it to premium, and that checks for like plagiarism.
Okay.
It starts picking up on your writing style, so it'll start making edits like due to your writing style.
I think the premium version would be beneficial for college students.
Yeah.
So if you end up liking the website.
I think it's $15 a month
Yeah.
or something. $15 a year.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad.
Okay, so if you want to so we told you a little bit about it. So now if you want to explore it a little bit.
So when I got it, it has all of these different things you can go to. So profile, click on profile. It shows a personal dictionary, so you can add words that you use frequently. An American British dictionary, which is the difference between American and British. My apps, you can download it to Microsoft Office, to where it will check while you write in Microsoft or anything, Excel, PowerPoint, and then Grammarly for Windows. I'm not quite sure what that does. But I have Grammarly for Chrome active, so every time I type something into a website, this little green dot will start to go around in circles, and that means that it's checking my grammar. Anna, have you used it before?
I have used Grammarly. I actually tried it with a paper, and it works really well. Usually I don't double check what I write. I don't what's it called?
Reread?
Yeah, revise it. So
Proofread?
Proofread, yes. I usually don't proofread, so I did try it on this, and I think it worked just fine.
Yeah, the only time I proofread is when it's underlined that I misspelled something, so I never go in depth with it.
Yeah. Should we have...
Yes.
So now we're going to have you do it by yourself.
Okay.
And explore it individually.
We have a list of instructions that will lead you through your tasks.
Okay. Should I say them out loud?
No, the first one is just writing an email. So go to the email because it shows up.
Okay.
And then if you start typing, try to add some misspelled words and random punctuation.
You can show it after. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. You have a big red line right there.
You said to misspell some things.
Yes.
Yeah, just try it.
I don't know what to misspell.
Ah.
If you put random punctuation.
What? Give me a word.
Potato.
I'm just trying to misspell some things.
Yeah.
Supercalifragilistic.
No.
I was just about to say that. You can just type random.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Okay.
Okay.
Oh, we found 2 additional writing issues.
That's for the premium. We don't have premium. So If you click on each of the underlined words, it shows you what to do. So if you just click on it, it'll change it for you. It's touchy, yep. You can use your finger. It's a touch screen.
I like it.
So I like to use this because sometimes I write emails super quick and I don't catch all of my errors.
Mm-hmm.
It like catches everything.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what it's gonna.
PSI.
And potato.
It actually works really well.
Yeah. It's got like, I feel like it has more like recommendations for the words you're trying to put than like Microsoft, you know, just like the automatic thing.
Okay, and then the next step is to go to Grammarly, so in the tab, and then go to the demo document. So the demo document kind of just shows you what Grammarly is all about and how it, like you said, shows you different options of the words that you can use.
Mm-hmm.
So if you click on one of the underlined words, it tells you, and then it tells you exactly why
Oh, that's cool.
your word isn't as well,
Like fitting.
yes.
So rather than it just like fixing it, just like in like a normal Word document where it underlines it, I think it's good that it explains why.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of teaches you along the way rather than just fixing your error.
Yeah, so the next time.
Yeah, so then the next time you know.
That would be really helpful with words like affect and like effect, because I
yes.
never know which one is like
Yeah.
appropriate to use.
Yeah.
And that's, I don't think it has any of the punctuation here. I think it's all just misspelled words.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the next task is to go back to the home page. So if you click on the little home icon,
And then click on new document.
and then it gives you the option to either start typing your notes or you can paste it into them and or upload from a different source. So the tasks asks you to begin writing just like before when you did in the email. And then try to use random punctuation and misspelled words.
Okay.
So this is good for rather than taking notes on Microsoft. You can take notes on here because when I take notes, it's super fast. Like I gotta keep
I
up.
misspell a lot.
And afterwards, you can just go back and
It's already like saying how to fix it too. That's cool.
So it gives you lots.
I don't think this option lets you pick whether, like, it doesn't tell you why your answer.
Oh, it has to be something already like uploaded. Okay.
But instead of like clicking on it, you can just click either the.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
no, it does. Click on more.
Consider
Dang.
removing a space. Wow.
So it gives you other options like what are those synonyms
Mm-hmm.
of different words.
Wow, and it also gives you lots of examples of how to use the punctuation.
Mm-hmm.
Dictionary.
I'm going to show this. Okay.
And then you can either choose to ignore it. Undo brings back the one that you just fixed, and if you decide that you don't want that one and you wanted to see the more options, it would show you incorrect and correct ways. Okay, that's that.
Look for.
Oh, another thing. And now go back to the home page. It automatically saves your
Oh,
notes
cool.
for you, so you don't have to
Is
go
that how
through.
many errors there are?
Yes, and at the bottom it does show you how many errors. And then number 4 is go to open saved Word document. And then copy the content in the document and go back to Grammarly and paste it in the new.
Is it already?
No, you're going to have to go to documents.
Yeah. How do you say to copy it?
So just press Control A, Control C. Okay, now it's copied.
Paste.
Yeah.
Oh.
Control V. There you go.
It's checking.
So you notice that some of the words are punctuation or underlined because it's not. Word document said that they were correct, but Grammarly gives you other suggestions to give it the more intellectual effect. Okay. Now we have number 5.
Okay.
And then go to the pen document, the pen icon. Yes. So when you decide that you want to check something, you can turn on and off different parts of what it's checking. So if you didn't want it to check for sentence structure, you can turn it off. The style of your writing, you can turn it off. And then with premium, again, it goes to the plagiarism and more in-depth style and punctuation, spelling.
If you were to use this in a classroom, do you think that this is something that all students could use or only students with disabilities?
I think all students could use it, definitely. Especially, like you said, when you have to start writing papers and stuff. Because, like, as I noticed, like I said, Word will not give you as in-depth of, like, explanations and stuff. Because, like, for example, writing, like, a biology paper saying, like, the effect that something had or, that always confuses me. So this would be, like, very helpful to make sure you're using words correctly, not misspelling things. Like you said, just finding everything that Word doesn't catch, for example.
And what grade level do you think this would be?
I think it could work for any grade level. Like, you could easily, like, use it as, like, a learning experience, like we talked about. Like, they could check themselves what they're doing wrong instead of needing help every single time. So I would say any grade it would be appropriate, but I'm thinking more of, like, high school. Yeah.
I worked with a student in high school that his accommodation was he could type rather than writing notes, so I think that this would be because he shakes a lot, so when he writes, his handwriting's really messy. So I think this would be beneficial for a student with, like, a physical disability.
Yeah, I agree.
Or something like that, just so it's easier to take notes. This might be hard, can you name 3 positives and 3 negatives to this website?
Okay, give me a sec.
Okay,
a positive would be what I've kind of mentioned before, that it kind of finds everything. And the fact that it gives you an explanation, I think, is very helpful and would be helpful to a lot of students, especially in the classroom, like younger kids. If you were using it in a younger classroom, how do I spell this? How do I spell that? How do I spell that? They could just, like, take care of it themselves and learn. So that's a positive. I also think that it's a positive that it can check your what you're writing on other websites, like in the email and stuff like that, because, like, you never think about that, and you don't want to have to copy something into Word or something to check what your grammar and spelling is like. And another positive, I think it's cool that it's free and you have the option to do the premium. So if you're writing papers more frequently, I think premium would be a better option for you. But, like, for anyone's usage, they can just have the free version.
Yeah.
Negatives, I think it's kind of a negative that you have to download the whole thing, because some people may just need it for, like, a one-time thing. They don't write papers that often. They could always delete it, I guess, but just like having to download the whole thing instead of just, like, copying it into something. Let me think of other negatives. I think it's a pretty like positive program. I don't think there's.
Did you
really
think of
that
any
many.
negatives in the classroom while using it?
Could it be like confusing to students? Do you think?
Yeah, maybe a little bit confusing, just because there's a lot of things like going on. Especially if it was like a student who's not very good at spelling or things like that. I think they'd get maybe overwhelmed with all the options and things that pop up for like a misspelled word. It's like more in depth, which could be positive or negative depending on like who you're working with. Because some students are easily overwhelmed, and others are fine. So it is like a little confusing, but I think you could get used to it quickly.
Yeah.
I think another negative like in the classroom could potentially be like students having all these options. So it would kind of manipulate their writing to like, a more advanced something they didn't really come up with 100% on their own because they're given so many options to change words and like change the style and sentence structure. So it wouldn't like really show what they know at that point in time because they have like all these tips and like, oh, well, you should change this to this. So that could be a negative if they were using this like constantly. And like say one time they go somewhere and they don't have this program, they'd be like, oh wait, like how do I write this? So that could be a negative for sure. Like relying on this program.
Yeah, that's what I had said when I started going through the program and thinking about how I could use it in my classroom because they become so reliant on it that they panic when.
Yeah, like faced with just a normal like word program, they'd be like wait,
paper,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think it's good to like use this in the classroom as like a resource, but you can't like teach students spelling and punctuation and all that through like a website like this. Definitely. I think it's a good resource, but not like a way for them to be taught through. So do you think that you could use this in the future? Maybe?
Yeah, I think it would, like you said, definitely be a resource because now that I've like kind of like said it out loud, I'm like, yeah, may not be good for all the time usage unless, like you said, a student couldn't take notes, paper and pencil. That would be good. And then, but I would I would definitely use it. Even like myself, I think I would use this program and like implement it in a classroom for, especially like I said, times when all the students are doing like a writing, so you don't have like 1,000 questions going on spelling. And I like that you can turn off like the sentence structure.
Yeah.
So that could be like, okay, make sure that's turned off so you're doing your own work and it like only checks spelling or punctuation and stuff like that. Because those are things like people easily look over and miss.
That's a good point. All right.
I think we are done. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Emily.
No problem.